Good afternoon. I'd like to call this meeting to order of the City of Laredo Historic District Landmark Board. It is September 12th, 2024, and it's 12:03 p.m. May we have the roll call, please?
Certainly. Rebecca Sepulveda,
Present.
Tomas Izaguirre III, Robert D. Gonzalez, Teresa Barker,
Present.
Cristina Davila Villarreal, Wayne Nance,
Here.
Francisco Paco Barrientos,
Present.
Priscilla Iglesias, and Mark Gonzalez.
Here.
For the record, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the members to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic
for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, do we have minutes?
Yes, we do.
The minutes were about not having quorum, as I recall.
That's correct.
So I agree with those minutes. I'll move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes of the meeting of July 11th, 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. So the next item is citizen comments.
We do not have anybody signed up as of yet for citizen comments.
Thank you so much. Item 6, election of officers. Does the staff have a presentation?
No, we don't have a presentation. However, this is an ongoing item. We've looked into election of officers. The land development code on this is that stipulates that the board can have election of officers, and of course, they do need 5 members to be present and 3 at a minimum to act. So typically, the boards wait until their full board is present in order to elect officers. However, the code is silent, so being that there is a quorum, you could act. You could have your election if you so chose.
Do you have any update for us on our vacancies or?
I think we're fully, there's no vacancies
There's no
currently.
vacancies.
We do have one member that, as you're aware, that has reached the end of their terms. We have been in contact with that member of council, and they're in the process of selecting a new representative.
But that person can serve.
Yes, the person will serve until the new person is chosen.
Okay. So what are the wishes of the board? Would you like to consider this action item now? We put it off 2 or 3 meetings.
Maybe until after the vote. How many council people are going to be switching?
I think we have
termed
one
out?
right now.
Only one is termed out?
Yes,
Okay.
And who's that?
the mayor's representative,
And the mayor's representative here is?
Ms. Sepulveda.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I guess what I meant is like in the upcoming election, how many council people are,
Oh, up for re-election?
well, not just up
I
for
guess there are
re-election.
4.
Is anybody like not able to, I think Councilman Torres is
Yeah, they're
termed
all,
out.
he's part of the ones that is gonna be re-elected, and he's not eligible to
Turned out.
run for council again.
Is he the only one?
I should know, but I don't.
Okay.
Honestly, I
Okay.
just don't pay attention
I
too
understand.
much.
I think he's the only one.
Is the only one that's termed out? Yeah, Albert Torres is the only one. And the rest are just running for
Okay.
re-election.
Okay. Well, I'm not ready to take any action on this.
Yeah, neither. No.
It's up to you.
Well, I'm just serving until the mayor names someone new, and he hasn't, I don't know Should we remind him?
I have. I spoke with the mayor at the last city council meeting, and we have spoken with them on several occasions, and it's the mayor's. You know, he did send his regrets that he's just very, very busy, but that he understands the importance of this, and that they will be moving forward as soon as they can.
All right, do we have a vice chair?
I believe we do. Do we have that? I have the chair. We'd have to look it up. This listing does not identify the vice chair.
Right.
We'd have to go back and look. Apologies.
Well, I'd like the board to consider a new chair in case I'm not continuing, then someone can just step in, right? Someone can be ready.
It's really up to your discretion, you
Would
know.
anyone like to serve? You've been here a long time, too.
I keep reminding everybody, I'm an engineer. You guys are the
That's
ones that are,
okay.
no,
That's all right.
I-
We all have our
You're-
Just to be clear, the
contributions
code does,
here. Have our
you are part of
contributions
one
here.
of the engineering field, is one of the disciplines identified by the code as acceptable for serving on the board.
No, I understand that, but I mean, in my opinion, I've always said this from the person that appointed me here, is what you do, Becky, even Teresa, Priscilla here, it's got, a lot of people have really, strong backgrounds in much more architectural related. And I am an engineer, so I do know there is a difference there in what we're trying to accomplish. And so, I mean, I'm flattered, I don't mind, but,
Well, you just need to run the meeting.
Yeah.
Everyone else can contribute just as much,
Yeah.
so don't worry about that. You know, that, there's no
Yeah,
skill in that.
As long as you know the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's an important point here.
I would respectfully decline. I
Okay.
would respectfully decline.
Anyone else like to serve as chair? Mr. Gonzalez has been here a long time, too.
I think I would like to wait and see what happens with the mayor's appointment.
Okay,
Are you wanting to be appointed to?
I'll serve as long as I'm needed, so
When is that? When does that expire?
it expired when he was elected.
Oh, it expired when he was elected.
Yes, I was appointed by Pete Sines.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm carrying over until he finds
I
another
see.
replacement.
Well, I love
You're
what
doing a
you
great
do.
job.
I rely on you.
It's okay.
I'm like, what does Becky think?
Okay.
Where I'm going.
So, if there's no desire to take action now, then I suggest we move on to our item with this.
If you could just table the item?
Yeah,
Very
I'll think
good.
about it.
Okay, so should we, is there a motion to table the item?
Motion at table.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just for clarification, would you want it to be table time certain or to a certain date in the future, after election? Any indications?
I guess we just put it on the next
Yeah.
agenda and take it from there.
Okay, time certain then.
I mean, I'll think about it. It's just, I feel like I'm very new, so
No problem.
I need a little bit of guidance, but I'll think about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you, Teresa. All right, item 7, public hearing and consideration of the following. Public hearing and consideration of a motion to consider the new construction of a separate structure which includes 2 bathrooms located at the rear of the property on the east 26.67 feet of Lot 3, all of Lot 4, and the west 1.9 varas of Lot 5, Block 135, Western Division, located at 1806 Matamoros Street. This property is within the St. Peter's Historic District.
Thank you, Mrs. Chairwoman. For the record, we have the applicant, San Juanita Cantu, as the owner. We have Marilu Cantu as applicant representative. Property location is the east 26.67 feet of Lot 3, all of Lot 4, and the west 1.9 varas of Lot 5, Block 135, Western Division, located at 1806 Matamoros Street. This property is within the St. Peter's District. The building type, as per the 1925 Sanborn maps, the structure's exterior is composed of brick and the roof is composed of slate or tin. Applicant request is proposing a new construction of a separate structure, which includes 2 bathrooms located at the rear of the property. Letter sent for 31, we had none for, none against. Aerial view. Front view of 1806 Matamoros Street. The site plan of the proposed new location of the new construction of the exterior bathrooms. A closer view of the proposed new construction. The elevations to the proposed new construction. Photos of the existing property. Continued photos of the existing property. And the recommendation is staff supports the proposed new construction. The proposed new construction will be similar and complement the historic structures. As per the City of Laredo Historic Urban Guidelines, new construction should appear similar in mass and scale to historic structures found traditional in the area. The proposed new construction will be similar in width and height and conforms to the site of Laredo, the City of Laredo Urban Guidelines, which states new construction of buildings should appear similar to width and height to those seen historically. The proposed new construction will not diminish the historic materials, features, and environment and conforms to the Secretary of the Interior standards for the treatment of historic properties with guidelines for preserving, rehabilitating, restoring, and reconstructing historic buildings, which states new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction will not destroy historic materials, features, and spatial relationships that characterize the property. The proposed new construction will protect the property's historic integrity and will not deter the historic setting. The proposed new construction will also not resemble the existing historic buildings and will be distinguishable from the existing historic buildings. As per the Secretary of the Interior, the new work should be differentiated from the old and should be compatible with the historic materials, features, size, scale, and proportion, and massing to protect the integrity of the property and its environment. The proposed materials being used are compatible with the materials on the existing building. The historic character of the structure will be retained and preserved. Staff general comments? And the proposed motion.
I'd like a motion to open the public hearing.
Second. I make a motion to open public hearing. Excuse me.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, would you like a presentation from the applicant? Would you like to hear from the applicant?
If they have anything to say. If they don't want to go up, I understand.
If you would like to show them anything or...
Do you have any questions for the applicant, or?
I'm sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Marilu Cantu.
It's the other one.
Oh,
It's in the
sorry.
middle, sorry.
This one, sorry. Marilu Cantu here. I am the applicant for the proposed separate building on this historical property. We just want to say we love our property and we just want to make it better for everyone. I currently have my office there. I am an attorney and I do have my office there. And the reason for the construction of this separate bathroom is because my sister and I do host several clubs, and they sometimes ask us to use the property. So because of my law firm, I would rather not open my building up so people can come in, and that's why we need the outside structure so that we can have the gathering and people go to that separate place so that we don't have to compromise my files. And that is the reason that we're asking for this.
Understood.
Okay, thank
Any
you.
questions?
None?
No questions?
Good.
All right, thank you.
Are there any comments from the public or the neighborhood, or
I would.
would you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Cordelia de la Chica Valdez, and we are the owners of the property across the street, which is 1805 Matamoros. We just purchased for my siblings, my parents' home, and we will be moving in hopefully sometime October, November, around there. We are at the present time refurbishing the kitchen and some of the building inside, painting and stuff. We have no objection at all to the construction of the bathroom. I know it is necessary. These older homes normally just have one bathroom, and it is impossible nowadays to really have if you have visitors and homes like Ms. Cantu was saying, it's very difficult to have your guest go into just one bathroom. And I can see the purpose for it. I agree totally. And in the future, hopefully we'll be able to do something of the sort in our home outside, because we do also entertain, and it is a little bit uncomfortable, if I might say, just for you to have your guests go up to the first floor, second floor, wherever it is necessary in your own personal home. So we have no objection, and hopefully in the future we might be coming to present to you our plan in the future for something similar outside in our home.
Thank you. You have a beautiful home. I'm so glad it's staying in the family.
Yes, yes, thank you.
I don't have anything. Staff's for it, the neighbors are for it. I don't have anything to add. If the board's fine with it, I'll make a motion, I guess.
I mean, I'd like to make a comment. I'm glad you guys are doing this, and of course, it's a very respectable neighborhood, and you know, as long as it's really respected by the time period, and I mean, I know we went through the notes, but you know, if it's beautifying it and making it better for more influx of people to enjoy your events, to come and see St. Peter's historic area, because you know, I think it's a great thing. You know, when people host events. I mean, I love St. Peter's, but I never get invited to any of them. Maybe I'll get invited this time. But congratulations.
Okay.
You want to make a motion?
I'd like to invite a motion that would close the public hearing and take action at the same time.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to close.
Second.
Very well.
And
I would like to move to approve this item in accordance with all the comments that staff provided.
Second the motion.
Thank you.
there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I abstain since I have property in the neighborhood. That's pretty adjacent to, or close to.
Will we all get invited?
Now you tell me. No, I'm glad it's a betterment.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good.
All right.
So the motion passed, and thank you for all you're doing to improve the home and the neighborhood and inviting people to come and enjoy it.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. Excuse me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
They will be excused.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully it'll come back to life.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item is consideration to approve a resolution expressing support for the development of an updated historical resource survey. Does staff have a presentation?
Just kind of a reminder, we had this item come forward several meetings back, or actually rather, I recall, that we were discussing it and the board asked that this item be brought forward to express their support for investment in the development of an updated survey. So, we are fully in favor, of course, definitely of expressing the support. By way of information, at the last city council meeting, Councilman Cigarroa, and with the support of the entire council, voted to, let me recall exactly how it went, voted to direct management to invest in the development of an updated historic preservation plan and updated guidelines. Wow. So we're going to be working with the management to identify funding, because we just went through our budget process, and the budget was balanced at the time. So we are hopeful that funds can be identified and allocated.
So, a move from this board would just be a little bit more ammunition to help, find the funding so that you can go out for a request for qualifications.
Yeah, that's what we would have to do.
Okay. I mean,
And so can we ask, like, you have grant writers with the Economic Development, I think, Department?
That's correct.
Could they write something like, because there's CLG grants?
Yeah, they would have to, those staff would have to be directed from council. So council would need to direct that department to initiate those funding, that seeking of those funds.
Oh, so that's nothing you can do, it has
No,
to
no,
be
not
done
us.
from, okay.
But we fully support this item and will definitely, it is, as was mentioned, a furtherance expressing support from this body and from staff that, this work is necessary and needed.
I have a question.
Mhm.
We're talking about updated historical survey.
Mm-hmm.
So in your staff, in staff remarks, there's mention of providing an accurate analysis of the current historic districts and historic landmark designations.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that no new historic resources are going to be included in the survey?
No, that was not the intention of the comment. What it is trying to explain what would be the purpose of a historic resource survey. And we envision the historic resource survey is to have a sort of an inventory, of the historic districts and all the properties they're in, exactly their condition, their architectural type, significant historic features, history, all of those things that we would want to have at our fingertips when analyzing, alterations, demolitions, new construction, rehabilitation of those existing structures. That's what the intention of what the comment is trying to explain what is a historic resource survey.
Okay, are there any other questions from the board?
but no. Give them more ammunition. I'm in support of it.
I guess I see that specific language about, I don't know, being an attorney, you could look at it and, am I wrong to interpret that this is very narrowly focused on current? What I'm getting at is, for example, we have the aging heights that has not really been surveyed.
Well, if they decide to move forward with a historic preservation plan, I think those recommendations would be something that, because this is separate projects. A historic resource survey would be separate and apart from the historic preservation plan, and separate again from updating of the guidelines. So those are three different efforts. What we had initially proposed was the survey that would most immediately assist staff in our deliberations, when we're trying to provide the best analysis to provide our recommendations to the board. Council, their directive was update of a historic preservation plan and the guidelines. So their motion was not focused necessarily on the survey that we had proposed. So it depends on which way they decide to go. So the directive from council is historic preservation plan, which I envision would have recommendations for if other historic districts were to be identified, other areas that, may be designated for preservation.
So then there would have to be a separate effort to do surveys of other historic resources that are not currently designated.
Once I would envision that, if the historic preservation plan were to designate, let's say, the heights, right, for overlay, for historic overlay, then yeah, we would want to go in there and have a survey done.
And that would be separate action from this.
Totally separate.
Okay, so what is the next step after this? If let's
This, we would submit to management. We would submit the resolution to management and expressing that support, and that they would have, you know, as a background for the directive that came from council.
Okay, very good. Are any other questions? All right.
I move to this is not a public hearing, or is it?
No,
No, this isn't
a resolution.
necessary or public hearing.
this is an action item,
Mhm.
right?
Just a
This is an
resolution.
action item.
I move to support this resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Great, thank you so much. I'm glad you did that. I feel like, oh, we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a survey in so long.
Well, that is correct.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.